Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.
Today on the Doc on the Run podcast, we're talking about why you should not focus on Plan B. All right, so today we're talking about why it is that if you're recovering from an overtraining injury, you really should not focus on Plan B. So the way that I thought about this episode today is that I just got off the phone. I was on a consultation with a runner, and he has a plantar plate injury, and he was planning on getting an injection to help the plantar plate sprain heal a little bit faster. And he asked me a question that really kind of stopped me in my tracks. He said, "How long should I give it before I throw in the towel?" And I kind of thought, well, what are you planning for this to not work? And I actually literally asked him that. I said, if you're thinking about when you're going to decide that this hasn't worked, that means you have to be planning for it to not work. So the question reminded me of a quote that I remember from Henry Ford, and it was, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. And I think that that's true with many injuries. In fact, there was a study published in a medical journal in 2019 in Nature that actually found that patients' subjective experiences of pain when they were being treated were directly modulated by the providers, meaning the doctor's expectations of the success of the treatment. Well, what does that mean? And why is it important for you as a runner? Look, I see runners all the time who are frustrated. They're tired of being told they can't run. They're tired of doing treatments that don't seem to be really getting them anywhere. And these are the people who call me for consultations. And many times when they think, well, I might try this thing, but if that doesn't work, what's the next thing? Because they've failed so many different things. And one thing I know for sure with working with runners is that the runners who seem to consistently get better believe they're going to get better. And if you think about this, this is totally true with your training. If you believe that you can do an Ironman in 11 hours, you will probably do an Ironman in just under 11 hours. If you believe it is impossible for you to do an Ironman in 11 hours, you have zero chance of actually making it to the finish under 11 hours. So this is really, really common, and we all understand this. You have to think about what your goal is. You have to focus on your goal. You have to visualize your goal. And if you're visualizing failure of the treatment you're undergoing right now because you're thinking about the next thing that you're going to do after this thing fails, you're probably going to fail. So whether you believe in it or not, I promise there is research and there is evidence that this is actually real and that it works with many patients, many runners, many injured athletes. So think about what's in front of you. Think about the things that you can do right now to actually optimize your chances of actually healing and recovering from your overtraining injury, and you will get back to running faster. Now, if you want to know the approach that I take, well, I've outlined it for you in this web class. It's talking about the 12 steps of recovering from an overtraining injury. You can get access for free at docontherun.com/12 steps. So go check it out, and I'll see you in the training.
Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.